Mall of America. For more than 30 years, it has been a retail leader and an international destination, and it remains the largest mall in the U.S. Not to mention, it welcomes millions of guests from around the world. It's huge, but it's also so much more. In this podcast, you're going to hear the real stories of how it started and why it continues to thrive. You'll hear about challenges we faced along the way and what you can learn from them. We will feature guests and experts from all walks of life and business, and along the way, you'll laugh, learn, and maybe even change the way you look at things. So if you're a fan of the mall, a brand new visitor, an entrepreneur, or a dreamer, prepare to dive deep into so much more. This podcast is presented by the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Welcome to So Much More, our Mall of America podcast. I am Jill Renslow, the Chief Business Development and Marketing Officer at Mall of America, and I am joined by my co-host, Dan Jasper, SVP of MOA Press, and we're here to talk about service for our industry. Receiving great service can literally make or break an experience and a business. Today, we're talking about honoring those who do it well, how to create exceptional guest services, and challenges facing our service industry. Please welcome the host of the Bloomington Diamond Service Awards, Bonnie Carlson, President and CEO of the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Jim Cunningham, Master of Ceremonies for the Diamond Service Awards. So welcome, both of you.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So let's get started and let's talk about what are the Diamond Service Awards. The Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau created these years ago. We love attending and being part of the ceremonies. So Bonnie, walk us through what the awards are all about.
Okay, so we started these, we just had our 25th anniversary this last May in 2023. So they were created, kind of came out of a conversation we had with our board of directors, and we talked about the whole service experience in those days when this was created. And from the Convention and Visitors Bureau side, we didn't actually deliver that service. So we said, what could we do to have the people that the rubber meets the road, so to speak, that provide the service? How could we get them excited about their jobs and excited about doing that service for the destination? Because happy customers obviously come back.
Yes.
And so the first one aired. We actually had, I had a colleague in Calgary, and they were doing something called the White Hatter Awards. And I called my friend and VP of Marketing, Jan, and I said, we have to go up and take a look at these. Well, they were quite a bit different than ours, but we decided to create and piece together, and Bloomington Diamond Services were born. It is the largest industry, our service industry, hospitality in Bloomington, so it was a natural.
Jim, I'm going to ask you a question if I can. Jim, paint a picture. For someone who's never attended the Diamond Service Awards, what is it like?
It's like the Oscars. It really is.
It is.
It's the evening is completely focused on those people who are in the front lines of service in Bloomington. They are the focus. They are the stars of that evening, and it is exactly like the Oscars. It's modeled after that. Bonnie and I host this event, and these people who are housekeepers, waitstaff, janitors, those are the people that are doing the real work. As Bonnie said, the rubber meeting the road. They're there dressed to the nines, some of them in tuxedos. They get a full unbelievable dinner at one of the hotels. They get first-class entertainment, and then these awards are presented. And to just get to be a finalist is a feat,
yes,
as it is for the Oscars. But to actually win a Diamond Service, they are unbelievably thrilled to get these awards, and the entire room erupts every time.
Absolutely. And Dan and I have had the opportunity to attend, along with many members of Mall of America and our teams from Crayola and Nickelodeon and a lot of our tenants. We love it. The energy is unbelievable. And, you know, Bonnie, kudos to you and your team for bringing this forward, because Bloomington is the heart of hospitality for the Twin Cities and for Minnesota, and being so close to the airport and having all the hotels and restaurants and retail. I mean, it is something very unique. So congratulations to you. And I would love just, you know, beyond learning this from some of your colleagues up in Calgary, like what else helped inspire this idea and helped it grow? Because you guys have made changes and evolutions over time. Talk about kind of how that has transpired over the years.
It has. So the very first event that we did was actually at a smaller hotel, and only about 300 people. And we weren't sure. It was an idea, and this was very new. By the way, there's nothing like this in the United States, to our knowledge. There are different destinations that will do, an award ceremony, a luncheon, but nothing like the Academy Awards. Anyway, the first award actually went to Best Administration in a hotel. And when the recipient won it, she cried the entire time from when she left her seat up to the stage, which choked everybody up. But it was sort of like, this is a winner. In business, you can have wins and losses and things change. This does not. This is a winning program because it honors the frontline service personnel. So from that point, the categories grew. We have 15 categories now. We started with 17, but jobs change, over the years. And we went from 300 people to about 800 people. And those people in the audience are businesses. This would be a wonderful program for a business to attend. And thank you, by the way, Mall of America are one of our biggest sponsors. And the attendees, as Jim said, they bring their families and they put their best dress on. And it's really all about making them feel special for what they've done. So it's pretty popular.
I love seeing people's dresses and, the special occasions. A lot of them sometimes get limos. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big night. And I think it's important for them to have that opportunity and to really showcase and be recognized because it's special. And it's because of them that makes the experience that they deliver like no other.
It's a red carpet for them.
Yes.
We do, we actually have a photographer set up so they can get professional pictures done of them all dressed up. Prior to the event, we take them into a private room, the finalists, and we speak to them. We tell them how good they are. This is, you've made it through hundreds of applications. You are the finalists. You make the success of the industry. It's not open to management, The other part of the growth that happened over the years was we added a Hall of Fame and the Spirit of Hospitality Award. And there is usually a business and a spirit of hospitality that really promotes the goodness of visitation. Mall of America, you have been a recipient of that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. And but we also had a Hall of Fame, and these are for people usually 25 or more years in their job. But I want to tell you, we're honoring people that have spent 40 years doing this job. And it is amazing. How would you love to be in the Hall of Fame? So it's, wouldn't you?
Oh.
That it's a heartwarming moment.
Yeah. All of it is heartwarming for all of us involved, for all of the people that attend. It is, this is not an exaggeration. It's my favorite event of this kind, bar none, that I get to do, period. End of story.
And Jim has been my co-host, we think 21 years.
21.
I'm thinking 22, but
one or the other. Certainly.
We'll go with 22.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Yeah, 20 plus. That's a better. I started just as an entertainer, which this will tell you a little bit about how this event has grown. I started just as an entertainer at the event, just a local guy doing some singing and at the event with a couple of other friends of mine. We put together a little show that Bonnie said, could you? I said, yeah, we could do that. And so I started as an entertainer. And now this event has entertainers like Louis Anderson. So it has grown to epic proportions in terms of the evening and the experience that it provides to the people that are there to receive these awards. It's so wonderful.
It is.
There,
Go ahead.
there always is a big act, right? There's always some big performance at this event, which was part of the fun, and nobody knows who it's going to be. It's a surprise.
Bonnie keeps it very secretive.
She is very
Even if you're
tight-lipped.
presenting an award like we have, and you get behind the stage and you're like, what's the entertainment coming? They still won't tell you who it is. So it's always under lock and key until we all get the
which
the
I love,
surprise.
right?
Yeah.
It's fun.
I
the
don't even
surprise.
tell my family. My husband will say, come on. And I said, nope, it just, we'll see.
So, Bonnie and Jim, name a couple of your favorite performers over the years that have done the special performances there. Other than you were obviously wonderful.
No. I'm lucky to still be here after the singing that I did in those first years. Certainly Louis Anderson.
Yeah.
Boy,
We had
oh
him
boy.
twice.
Yeah, twice. Because he's so good. God bless him. God rest his soul. But I think the one that, other than Louis, that stands out for me, and I wonder if it'll be the same for you, they brought in a Prince impersonator from Las Vegas who looked exactly and sounded exactly like Prince. And at this point, Prince was still with us. And so when this guy came in from the back of the house, I thought that audience was simply going to grab him and pull him into their tables. They just went out of their minds. Do you remember that night?
Yes, I do. In fact, my husband leaned over to somebody and said, I can't believe she got Prince.
That's was
how
that
much
good.
He looked just like
Yeah.
he
Everybody
that
was
good.
on their feet.
He
Shockingly
actually
good.
had a
singing.
show.
Yeah.
We met him out in Vegas at another event, and couldn't have been more fun. The other one that was one of my favorites, one year this event was in March, close to St. Patrick's Day, and we had the Irish dancers. I don't know if the whole troupe, they're actually in St. Paul from the St. Paul Irish School, and it was phenomenal. They had many acts coming up, and that would have to be another one of my favorite. We've had
Great
so
music,
many
too. Yeah.
that,
There have been a lot of great
musicians,
And you
comedians.
have your band that's with you every year. They do a
Yeah.
fantastic
Blooming
job.
Tones.
Yeah, we named them that. They're obviously musicians from bands around the metro area. And Scott Boland, who does a lot of our theatrical for performance and taping and whatnot, he runs it. And so they've played for us forever, and we call them the Blooming Tones.
And that, too, I think, in my experience, because I do get a chance to do this kind of stuff fairly often, whether it's an award ceremony or a sales incentive trip for people who have been very successful in that calendar year, having a live band is very, very, very seldom in my experience, and it elevates your event to a level that canned music, however good it might be, can't compete with. Having a live band there is so great.
Absolutely. And I think that's what you do a really good job of, is programming the evening that you never let go of that energy. There's always something to look forward to. And I think you do a really great job of, you have a few awards and you break it up, and you have dinner and you have entertainment and you have more awards. So you don't just have this string of, the continually of the same thing over and over. And I think you keep the attention of the audience, you keep the energy up. And I think you fine tune that over the years, and it's
Right.
very well done.
Thank you. And we try to keep it about 2 hours, give or take, and again, keeping everyone entertained. You've been very great. Jim does a lot of events locally, and, how to position things to keep that moving. And he's been a great advisor on that as well. You get somebody from that, does a lot of events. So, yeah.
So talk to us about the process of how these individuals get nominated, because you don't just randomly go to establishments and grab people's names. There's a process of how these folks get nominated into the system, and then a well-vetted process of how they move down the stages of getting the opportunity to be at the ceremony. So talk to us about that and the timing of that as well.
Okay, so nominations are open. They are nominated by the businesses. So it's nominated by the hotels, the restaurants, Mall of America, any kind of visitor services. Everybody will nominate. Write a little paragraph about why these particular people would be nominated. And then they'll be open now until January 16th. And we try to help them along. Not everybody, I think sometimes they get intimidated. They're not a writer. So we say, give us the facts, and then we will, fine tune that for you. And so that's a process. Then we set up interviews, in-person interviews. And those are led by people who volunteer from the business community. We don't do those. And they're scored. It's pretty easy. There are more questions about how you love your job and what do you do. But they can be kind of scary to people, so we try to keep it very comfortable. Then by the the scores, and we have it audited by the auditing firm, so it's just like the Academy Awards. And the finalist is the winner is selected. So it's quite a process. That will happen in February and March. And then May, we found, is a really good month.
That's great. And I think it's great because you also have business leaders and folks that present these awards. And
That's
I would
right.
love for Dan to share with
No.
us. He knew this was
I'm
coming.
not going to tell this story.
So you were able to have Dan present an award years ago. And I love this story
will never
because
do it
you have
again.
it very scripted. And I've had the opportunity to do it as well. And so you make sure that we go, you go through the script as written, and because you have the timing of how it's revealed on the screen and things like that. So Dan, why don't you share with us your
Thank you, Jill, for bringing up this painful, scarred memory of mine. It was one of the horrible things that happened to me, or that I did. I was a presenter of the first award of the evening. You honored me with that on this one. It was my first year at seeing the event as well. Didn't know what to expect. And I was backstage, and I don't hear well, especially when there's a lot of ambient noise. So the staff member that was there with me, and I just said, "What do I need to do?" And she said, "Well, when you call up, you just walk up there to the podium and you read this script." Having never seen the awards, right? So I walked up to the podium and said, "And the winner is..."
Oh, that's right.
And said the name of the winner before the finalists were ever announced. And it was horrifying. And the two of you covered me so well. Thank you so much. You were graceful, and you went on and said, "Let's announce the other people that were up for this award as well." But I remember going back to my table and sitting there and shrinking and texting with a colleague who was next to me saying, "I want to die. I want to die. I want to die."
Actually, we hardly remember that. But
I don't remember it at all. Honestly, I don't.
Well, I
Thank
do.
you. That is so kind of
I
you,
know.
but I dreamed this.
But that's the thing, it's a live production, so you never know what's
That's
going to
right. You roll with
happen.
it.
So I would love any other fun stories that you guys have from over the years.
I'm just going to say now, since that,
Since the big one.
there is a protocol now, and the people are walked through the ceremony so
Thank
they know
you.
what's expected of them. So you've done a great service.
Thank you for letting me do that. Lead the way.
You've helped the event.
But one of the things, too, to follow up on that, the winners are kept a secret. Okay, so the announcement of the finalists usually is kind of important, but it was great. We didn't remember. But anyway, once that finalist wins, they come on the stage to receive the award. Jim does a lot of this, or the presenter. Jill, you've done them too. There's a little paragraph about how special this person is. We have had some heartwarming. These hospitality workers have come a long way. A lot of them were very diverse, our hospitality industry. We can have interpreters and whatnot. And it's something personal about them. It is like amazing. And those are written very professionally for him. But you had some great, we love to stump our host occasionally, live broadcast. We have a lot of fun with Jim.
Well, yeah, what are some of your fun memories?
He's very good.
I can't think of any one thing, but I have such a soft, warm spot in my heart for the Diamond Service Awards, and I'm so grateful to have been involved for these many years. I dread the day when they call and say, "We're not going to use you this
No,
year."
that's
but
not happening.
I really look forward to the event. I want to know as soon as they have a date. I want to get it in my book so nothing else can preempt it. I wouldn't miss it. Even if you don't hire me, I'm just going to come watch because it's so much
Not
fun.
enough.
It's so great.
You're in for
Yeah.
the rest of it. One story that happened last year, just a quick one. You asked about how the evolution of this has happened, and we do have a professional guy that we do a few videos throughout the night, and it's mostly of the hospitality workers doing what they do best and have fun. But this last year, the 25th, we had a live videographer on site doing some with the finalists. And then there was some snafu, technology always. And so we didn't think we were going to be able to show it. But what we did was it kind of came on and Jim thought it was the other one. And so there was a mix up. So we had a lot of fun with that. Both videos were great. So he's easy breezy. So.
The production is fantastic.
It really
A lot
is.
of great resources to help you pull
And
it all
everyone's
together.
invited. Yeah.
So when you think about guest service, you think about hospitality, what are those common characteristics, skills, traits that you see resonate with all of these recipients as you've had over the years? And it is a very heartfelt experience to see these these candidates go up on stage and receive this recognition, because a lot of times they're not in the spotlight. They are behind the scenes, or they don't have that chance to have that recognition that they get on this night. But what would you say are some of those common themes that thread through these individuals that really make Bloomington special and deliver that great guest experience?
I would say these finalists, they go above and beyond their job. They're always trying to help the customer. What we've noticed is they do get this beautiful base of it with a diamond on it, but they also get pins. And we see them wearing those in the hotel, Diamond Service Awards. And people will ask them about that. And they say, I got that for providing good service. And the stories are just phenomenal of acts of kindness, of service that they have done for guests, going above and beyond the call of duty. I need something I'm traveling, I don't have this, my child is sick. I mean, above and beyond. And so these are the things that are so heartwarming about them. Yeah. Plus, they do their job well.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Well, that's the baseline. But yeah, you're right. They almost to a person, the story is that they reached way beyond what would be expected
Yes.
of them. Even if they are a top-rated employee, these people are going above that. And that's why they end up winning a Diamond Service Award, because some of the stories are you can't believe that an employee would feel that kind of commitment to a guest. It's not their hotel, it's not their store, and yet here they are doing something way beyond what anybody could even dream of expecting them to do. And it's just a terrific experience. I love it.
Yeah, they take a lot of pride in
Yes.
that accomplishment, and it's a badge of honor when they get to wear those pins, and I think encourages their colleagues to also push to be on that list for the following year. Because I know that there's
right.
healthy competition definitely within our
Healthy.
building,
Yes, there is.
across the different brands, with our hotels, with our restaurants, because they all want to be recognized and be part of that.
And we try to balance that a lot. You know, one goes home with the actual Diamond Service Trophy. But at that point, we recognize how amazing those 5 in that category were. I mean, it's the cream of the crop.
Absolutely.
And it's so...
And the other thing that I think that's really cool, like at the Academy Awards, all the people that are there presenting or receiving awards get a bag full of stuff, to take home. And you provide that same experience. You have a swag bag full of coupons, full of gift cards, full of
Nickelodeon
right.
tickets or Fly Over America. And what's wonderful about that, so this goes to the finalists, they may not have ever been able to afford to do that or do it. And so it's the true, we call it our swag bag.
We love swag bags.
Yeah, I
love
know.
swag
It's
bags.
great.
Yeah.
And you guys have been great about supplying a lot of the fun in those swag
Well,
bags.
it's a really nice thing. And then everybody that comes to the event, you've got something for them too at their table.
At their
It's-
table.
And I keep thinking of things I want to make sure we talk about. Don't forget that at the end of the event, all the names of the finalists, not just the winners, but
that's
all
right.
the names of the
Good
finalists
prizes.
go in a bowl, and you draw things like a trip to Ireland or, a $500 gift to Mall of America. I mean,
Yeah.
some serious prizes. We're not talking about
$500 shopping
toothbrushes.
spree at Mall of America, airline trips,
Right.
and then restaurant things. And so there's usually 3 big prizes, and it's all about the finalists.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little sneak peek of what the Diamond Service Awards will look like for 2024?
No. I knew she'd love that.
That's an honest answer. I like it.
I know. We love to keep it a secret. Well, no, seriously. What we are doing this year, since the pandemic, which we don't even like to talk about anymore, but there was a lot of hospitality changes or job changes within the industry. So we've updated the categories a couple, like we've eliminated one and combined them. Maybe the job doesn't exist anymore after 26 years, So we're fine-tuning that. We're working on our entertainment. I have some calls already today. Finalizing the date. It's going to be probably first week in May. We're going between 2 with our hotel. It'll be at the DoubleTree Hotel over there on Normandale again. And so it's full swing. And we start this whole process. We're working on decor. The room is done so amazingly beautiful, because we feel like that's part of it from the Academy Awards. We use Ed's Productions and a lot of wonderful people that just transform this ballroom into magic. So all that is happening now. Can't give you the color scheme or anything like that.
We tried, people. We tried to get it with it. And we knew we weren't going to get to the entertainment, but I think this is a chance for Jim to plug you a little bit maybe on some of his recent projects, to maybe give him a front runner position in maybe the entertainment for this coming year. So you never know what you've got in the hopper that Bonnie could consider for her entertainment lineup.
Well, that leads in this year. You may or may not know Jim, actor, producer. He actually had a Hallmark movie that was filmed in Minnesota. And it was shown, I think, December 7th.
Yeah, it started airing December 7th. I think you can still stream it. I haven't looked recently.
What's the title?
It's called Rescuing Christmas.
Awesome, good.
And I was just blessed and fortunate to be cast in it, and spent 2 wonderful weeks in Duluth, Minnesota.
Who doesn't love Duluth?
Yeah, it's a dynamite city any time of the year, but it was great in May. And Hallmark, one of the few, I think, organizations who had the foresight to realize there might be an actor strike. Yeah. And so they really did get a lot of work done so that they could provide programming during the holidays. And I was just fortunate enough to be cast in this thing. And I played the father of the lead girl, and it was such a dream and so much fun. The cast, the crew, the city. It was everybody, the director, the producer, they were all as nice and wonderful as you could want them to be.
Didn't he? I don't know if you have time, but he did the original Mall of America show.
He did. So Jim has been a friend for many years, and he helped us launch our television show back in the day called, I think, Mall of America, The Show.
That was it.
And you were one of our hosts to be able to feature all of our different attractions and new retail and entertainment. And remember those good old days?
Oh, yeah, they were a blast. I had just we did, I think, 3 or 4 seasons. I can't remember quite clearly if maybe it was 4, but we had just a great time highlighting all the great stuff you can do at Mall of America. And even before that, I don't think the mall was open a full year, and I got cast in the official souvenir video of Mall of America. So I hosted that was sold at your Mall of America gift shops.
I'm sure we have a copy around here.
Let's not look at it. Let's not look at it.
Find it.
We will definitely have to find it. But love to reminisce on the good old days, but also what's ahead of us. Been thrilled to be able to support the Diamond Service Awards and look forward to what you have in store for this spring, because we will be there cheering in the stands and supporting wherever we can and encouraging everyone to be nominated for throughout our retailers and restaurants and across our industry here in Bloomington. So kudos to you. Congratulations on the success over all these years. Jim, we look forward to seeing you on stage as well for year 22 or 23.
Really, Bonnie has shepherded this program from its infancy through today. And I just don't know that she gets enough recognition for having the foresight to create something like this that not only recognizes but encourages great service. And that's something that I think that we should say that out loud. And so I did.
But it's my team. So
yeah, you got a great team,
for
but
sure.
You're a great leader.
Led by Jan Krell. So
congratulations. We look forward to the Diamond Service Awards. And with that, that's going to wrap us up today for So Much More. So thanks so much for listening and watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of So Much More. If you want to hear more, be sure to subscribe to our podcast wherever you find your favorites, including Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts. And you can also watch a video cast on YouTube. Go to podcast.mallofamerica.com to leave a review, ask a question, or give us an idea for the show. Until next time, thanks for listening. So Much More is presented by the Bloomington Convention and Visitors Bureau, the official destination marketing organization for the city of Bloomington, Minnesota. Before your next trip to Mall of America, visit bloomingtonmn.org for answers to all your travel questions, deals and packages for hotel stays, and so much more.